The housing market is definitely not what it seems. We're being told one thing, but in actuality, things are turning out to look a whole lot different for the average person on Main Street. I recently came across this graph here that tells a very alarming tale as to how bad things are for the average household. And based upon the current trends, there's no signs that it's going to get better anytime soon. Let's talk about it. All right, so I want to take a quick minute and share some thoughts. Came across that graph and really got me thinking about the current state of the housing market. And so I've touched on it every now and then, but never really dived deep, especially as of late, given the current macro picture that the world's facing right now. But one thing's for sure, a lot of people right now are feeling a pinch. And the whole premise of being able to dream while being an American is centered around home ownership. And if people are not able to afford housing, then that in and of itself shifts the whole American dream concept, basically reframing the American paradigm on what will be the necessities for sustaining themselves moving forward. And so as always, if you guys want to see more of these short RTD quick takes, we'll show your support definitely by hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you click the bell notification so you're notified. And more importantly, take this information, put it to the hands of people who need to hear an alternative message rather than the hopium that's being given to us by the mainstream pundits that they usually get when they cut the TV on. But ultimately, in the face of exorbitant housing costs that have basically doubled since the pre-pandemic years, prospective homebuyers find themselves cornered by an economic system seemingly stacked against the average person. This startling surge of the monthly cost to buy a house is a major indicator of what's currently wrong in this country when it comes to housing. Let me just zoom in here. As you can see, the startling surge to $2,750 per month to own a home in 2024 not only reflects a grim reality, but also poses a question: where does the American dream stand in today's economy? So as it says here, the cost to buy a house in America, exclusive of mortgage, taxes, and insurance, has surged by almost 100% from the pre-pandemic levels. This data presents a chilling narrative. It shows that owning a home now devours 44% of the average family's pre-tax income. To make matters worse, the median home price in the U.S. is around $425,000. Based upon data from July of last year, is around $93,000. This means that the median home price is about 4.6 times the median household income. This figure is not just a statistic. It's a barrier to entry into home ownership that many find insurmountable. And to go back to the previous graph, compared to the peak of 2008's financial crisis, zoom in here, you can see with monthly payments topped out at about $1,500. And compared to the current price of close to $3,000 a month, these costs are astronomical. And to make things make even more sense, U.S. home prices in February jumped 6.4% year over year, according to this Case-Shiller data, showing that the 10 largest cities saw an 8% year over year increase as this historic run continues. So what does that mean? Affordability is only getting worse. So what's causing this spike? Is it simply market dynamics, or is there something more at play here? That there's an acute housing supply problem that's expected to continue well throughout this year and beyond, due to factors like the existing homeowners and baby boomers staying put due to low mortgage rates or some having no mortgages at all, and you factor in a less than adequate amount of new home constructions, this can make the inventory extremely tight, therefore driving up costs even more. The second catalyst is higher mortgage rates. The sharp increase in mortgage rates since 2022 has made homes less affordable, slowing demand, but also discouraging potential sellers from listing their homes. So basically, this imbalance between supply and demand is driving up home prices in certain parts throughout the country as well. And third, strong buyer demand. So despite the affordability challenges that people face, there's still significant demand from buyers, particularly first-time and millennial home buyers just entering the market. Basically, this sustained demand in the face of limited supply is also putting upward pressures on pricing. So in this new economy we're in now, for new home buyers, the traditional advice of saving more and living within one's means feels almost like mocking in its inadequacy. So moving forward, the reality demands more innovative solutions. Some are turning to co-housing, others to more affordable locations, and a brave few are advocating for policy reforms that they think could actually ease the burden. It's even got to the point where tiny home living has become perhaps a deeper economic malaise or policy failures. But there are three potential catalysts at play here. Number one, a limited housing supply. The search results indicate an increasingly popular trend in recent years. The primary reason is affordability. Tiny homes are much less expensive to build and maintain compared to traditional homes, with the average cost around $52,000. So this makes them an attractive offer and option for those looking to own a home without a large mortgage. But the fundamental question remains: how sustainable is this housing price trajectory as it continues to climb upward? And what will be the long-term impacts on our society's structure and stability? So as we dive deeper into the trends, it's crucial to question the forces at play here. These are not your natural market cycles. And clearly we are witnessing a reshaping of the very concept of what it means to own a home. And surprisingly enough, or not, this goes hand in hand with the World Economic Forum motto of "you'll own nothing." And I'm sure by now you all know how this statement ends. But yet as it stands, this dilemma has already determined how the next generation has adapted to the American housing crisis. Unfortunately, a lot of people have already opted out of the gift of procreation because of the burdens of sustaining their own livelihoods, which has frightened some from even thinking about starting a family these days. So this current housing situation unfortunately plays into the hands of those that want to corner the housing market and possibly bring the developing world down to their very knees, where they would rather opt in to rent rather than to face the burdensome costs of owning their own property. So with all this information that I just shared, this is just what's happening in Main Street, and the way it's being framed. We'll never hear this type of reality being expressed from mainstream media. And that's why I always say it's important to put this information to the hands of the people where it matters most, so people can have an eye-opening experience to where they can realize the forces that are at play against them. And the good thing is this information doesn't impact everybody, but it impacts enough to where it can hopefully help wake up those who are asleep at the wheel and give them the opportunity to find out some information that can help them by 1, getting them the information, 2, allowing them to think for themselves, and 3, filling in their knowledge gaps and getting the information they need to make better and smarter decisions, the current revenue that they have today, so they can put it to work for themselves and hopefully protect and preserve their financial futures. But anyway, just shine some light on this major issue that people are experiencing in real time. As always, curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. As always, if you guys enjoyed this, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you follow, and more importantly, put this information to the hands of people so they can get an alternative perspective. And if you found this information valuable, which I know you did, I'm sure you'll like this next one. Catch you guys later.